Hi year ones, it's Mrs. Sweeney and I will be doing this week's maths with you. I am super excited because we are going to start a brand new chapter, a chapter on positions. Okay, so regardless of today's weather, we are going to have a fantastic day because a part of our session this morning, the warm-up of our session, involves something very exciting. So, when you've got your resources, your learning partner, your journal, get going and we can begin our session. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to have a race because our learning objective today is to be able to use the appropriate positional language. And in order for us to just embed that knowledge a bit more, I would like you to have a little race with whoever it is you're at home. It could be your siblings and your parents, or one of your parents, or a granddad or granny, whoever it is with you. I would like you to go outside and have a race. If you can't do that, if you can't go outside for the weather, if the weather's poorly and wet and miserable, have a race in a safe place at home. It might be that you could have a race of finger racing on the table, where you just have a quick go of racing your fingers from one end of the table to the next, or one end of the placemat to the other end of the placemat, or you could do it with some objects. You could do it with some toys, okay? But do it sensibly and in a safe place. But if the weather's great, please try and have a go at doing it outside. So you are having a race and you're going to work out who's come first in the race, or who's come last, second, third, depending on how many children and adults are participating in your race. And when you've done your warm-up, you can come back and we will explore our learning a bit more for today. See you shortly. Well done. I really hope that you enjoyed doing your races. We've done it, we will be doing it in school. And I remember last year when we were doing our year one learning, the children really enjoyed this because it really helped them not only have a lot of fun, but also understand positional language. Now, before we begin our learning, there's a couple of things that I wanted to go through with you. Now, obviously, most of you know our learning so far has been about writing numbers, counting from 1 to 10, and we should be pushing ourselves to be able to count 20. But in our positional learning, in our learning of our positions today, we are only going to talk about positions up to 10. So starting from the first to the 10th position. Now, I'm going to write a number, and I'm going to write the number 1, okay? Now, when we're talking about positions and writing it in terms of positional language, we don't say want. I was want, okay? We don't say that. We say I was first. Okay, so for example, if we're standing in a line, you'd say, oh, would you like to go first? And the reason for that is because first is spelled like this. If you spell it phonetically, you would go first, okay? And when we're doing it, so that, because in mathematics we always try and make our working really quick and super fast, which is why we work with symbols, and our number sentences have symbols. When we say 5 add 2 equals 7, we don't actually write the words, we use symbols. We use the addition symbol, we use the equal symbol, rather than actually writing the words. Now, to help our coding in maths, we don't always need to write the word first. Okay, so what we do, oops, skipped a slide there. What we do is we carry the number 1, and I'm going to use a different color here. Let's use green, and we use the last 2 letters of the word first. Okay, and we add it on as a suffix. Now, if you remember our verb learning, we added suffixes to our words to ensure what exact tense, verb tense it was. It's a bit like that with our digits. So you're adding the last 2 digits last two consonant clusters, the last two letters of your word, sorry, to your digit. And there it is. You've got your first, you've got the digit 1 and the last two letters of the word. Now, can you guess what it would be for when you say second? So let's sound out the word second. Some of you might say, Mr. Sweeney, it's not or, it's actually you do write second like this. Okay, what do you think is going to happen to that 2 when you're using it in a mathematical quick way of writing? Absolutely, I can hear some of you telling me you use that, the last 2 letters of that word, and add it on to the 2. Just there, okay? You add it on to the 2 and it becomes, that's right, it becomes second. Well done, everybody. That is really good going. What would you do if it was the number 3, if you were third in the race? So let's sound out third. 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 Okay. Oh, you are so clever, year ones. Absolutely smashing this learning. You would use the last 2 letters and add it on as a suffix to the digit 3. Okay. So here's my digit 3. I'm using the last 2 letters to help me add it on as a suffix to the digit 3. So I've got first, second, third. Now, after these numbers, it's actually pretty easy. So if I've got the number 4, I'm going to write or fourth. What am I going to add as a suffix? That's right, th, the digraph. If I was 5th in the race, I would do 5th. Add the digraph to the end, because I would just sound talk my word, write it out, and it would be the last 2 letters. The rule applies to every digit that you write. You just use the last 2 letters of your word and you add it to the digit. What about 6? If I was 6th in the race, I add. So it is only for the number 1, 2 and 3. If you're first, second or third, the suffix is different. Okay, and that applies even if you're number 23 in the race. You don't say I'm 23rd, I am 23rd. If you're 22nd in the race, you don't say I'm 22'd, I'm 22nd. So the rule applies as the numbers progress as well. And for numbers from 4 to 10, you only add the th, the digraph at the end of the digit. So that's a little bit of subject knowledge, a little bit of understanding for the parents here, and as well as our year ones. So just explore that together, okay? The other thing I wanted you to do is play a game. Now that we've learnt about the knowledge of what comes at the end of the digit and what the words are, I would have uploaded some of the words for positions, and I've also uploaded a sheet with all the numbers and their positions, the ordinal number and their positions as well, in digit form and in word form. Now, if you can't print off for any reason, or if for any reason you haven't been able to pick up a learning pack, you will have all you've got to do is just write these down in a piece of paper. It is not a problem if you haven't got a printer or you haven't got a learning pack, or it's missing from your learning pack for any reason. All you've got to do is just write these down all the way from 1 to 10th. So from the first position to the 10th position, you cut them up and you put them round on the floor. And the next thing you're going to do is match them up. So you're matching your first to the word first, just like that. You're matching your second to the second, oops, so they're matched together there. Third to third, sixth to sixth, fifth to fifth. So you're finding, so parents, all you're doing is jumbling up the words and numbers together, and the children need to match them up. So that's just kind of a warm-up activity for you. Okay, when you've done that, we will move on. See you shortly. Okay, year ones, I really hoped you enjoyed that. we've got our focus task in front of us. So there are some children here who have been doing a race just like you this morning. Okay, and what it's asking you to do is name the position of each runner in the race. Okay, now hopefully you will be able to say that this little girl here is the first. You would be able to see that this person's the second, and so on and so forth. Now, to help your journaling, I have made you a sheet that looks a bit like this. I've got your in focus task stuck in there, ready for you with the date. All you are doing is looking carefully at the picture here, and then you're looking at this picture and checking the position of that person in the picture. And on the right hand side here, I've got the ordinal number of the person in the race. All you are doing is cutting this number up and sticking it next to the right person. So for example, in our discussion, we've already seen that this lovely lady here was first. So I'm looking for my first. I'm going to cut that up and stick it in that box there. That is all you are doing for your journaling. Okay, when you have done that, you will have today's worksheet with you. And today's worksheet is all about naming positions. So your first sheet is in a circle who's at the third zebra. So that this is the finish. It's telling you these are this is the first. It's asking you to circle the third. So you count first, second, third, and you circle that. Okay, and you're doing the same for the other three questions. You then move on to this one, page 2, and you've got a question where it says colour, and it says colour 4 rabbits. That's the first part of the question. How many rabbits is it asking you to colour? 4. So you colour your 4 rabbits. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rabbits. It's then asking you in the second part of the question to colour just the 4th rabbit. It's not asking you to colour all 4, the first 4, like you did in this one, just the 4th. And it's telling you which one's the first. Okay? And the same goes for this question here. You're colouring in your 6 hens, and then you're colouring the 6th hen. And it's telling you which direction the first one is. So just bear in mind where your finish line is as well. Okay? And then finally, a bit like your warm-up game this morning, you are matching the ordinal number to its ordinal word. And use your phonics to help you. I know there's quite a lot of phase 5 sounds in there. Just wanted to point you out to the word, this one here. This is 8th. Okay, now you haven't learned that quad, which is EIGH. So parents, if you could support your children at home to sound talk that word, because the children haven't learned that the 4-letter quad, which is the A phoneme. Okay, just a little bit of information there to support your learning. When you have done those 3 sheets of your worksheet and your in focus task, you are done for today. It was a pleasure to be with you for your maths. Any questions, please drop me a line. I'm always here to help you, and I will see you back again for tomorrow's session. Well done, year ones, for today. Bye for now.